until that company, for example, Amgen has developed a Humira, right, or whatever, Humira. So they're going to try and get it approved outside of the country and make money that way. And then when the patent expires, they could bring it back into the United States and start competing maybe, with, AbbVie at a later date because they built up enough money to go in and try and see if price really is the difference. And at the end of the day, in the United States, price really makes no difference. It really doesn't, because until the government is going to step in and mandate reimbursements at a certain level and get rid of all the rebate stuff and all that stuff, biosimilars are never going to take off in the United States. They will never take off in the United States. And one thing that people don't understand is just because you're Sandoz and you developed a monoclonal antibody biosimilar in oncology, but you yourself have no oncology experience, and you're going to try to compete with the company that had the patent, that owns the market in the United States, particularly if you're a foreign country, and believe that you're going to be able to get your product into the pipeline to the PBMs, to the drug distributors, you're sadly mistaken. Because at the end of the day, the people that own the innovative status for these drugs can make these products on pennies on the dollar. And they could compete on price if they want to. They could go down and cut, 50% off of their product and still outcompete the biosimilars that start at 70% discount. And that's why you're seeing that nowhere in the United States are you seeing gross discounts, because it's not going to help. Because the innovators hold all the distribution networks, have relationships with all the distributors and the regulators, and more importantly, all of the KOLs that they have had on their payroll for the last 10 years to hawk their product. Those guys are not going to say, oh, well, this biosimilar is just as good as, the innovator product, and I've been working for the innovators for 10 years, and I'm getting all kinds of whatever from the innovator. There's no way the KOLs are going to say, well, we've done experiments and it's perfectly okay. There's no inducement for them. So if the KOLs don't switch from, recommend to the people that listen to them that, oh, yeah, this biosimilar works as well, it's not going to be adapted by the physicians. Because if you look at what's been killing the European market for monoclonals and the U.S. market for all of them is the lack of understanding or education put forward by the biosimilar companies to offset the negativity being imposed on physicians by the innovators. So
right.
And that's why if you look at Europe, the only reason that Europe is taking off is that the governments dictate reimbursement, or not even reimbursement, how much they're going to pay list price for these products. If you don't give us the price we want, we're not buying your drug. You're not going to be able to distribute it in our market. So you say, oh, well, if you're Germany, that's a pretty robust market, right? So everybody wants to be in the German market. But the German government, along with its insurance companies, determine or set the price that they're willing to pay to allow that company to sell their products in the country.
Right,
Does
right.
that make sense?
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
So if you look at the commoditized or tendered biosimilars like GCSF, the Erythroid, they're like 30% of what they used to cost, because they use routinely. And the government, when it's a tender thing, they have to pay the lowest price possible, and you get the cheapest thing, and the government uses that product. But when we're talking about monoclonals, we're still in a specialty market, and the cost of Inflectra in Europe, I don't even know what it is, but I don't know what it is in the United States. But I guarantee you it's cheaper in Europe than it is in the United States, right?
Right.
So
right.
What they
Thank you so much. I think it's we've gotten off topic, and really I know. So thanks. I guess part of the screener we really wanted to kind of talk about, the public meeting on the 4th was kind of public, so thank you so much for your time. I think it's just not quite right. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.